Imagine living a life where someone has consistently caused you harm, seizing every opportunity to inflict pain. They've repeatedly obstructed your path to success. Yet, you've persevered and achieved your goals. Now, you've attained a position of power that would allow you to exact revenge. You face a choice: forgiveness or revenge? Today, we'll explore a story where the protagonist, faced with the most severe persecution, but chose a third path that went even beyond forgiveness. To understand this story, we must journey back 1400 years to the 8th year of the Hijrah. In the 8th year of the Hijrah, after the pagans broke the Treaty of Hudaybiyah and attacked a tribe allied with the Muslims, the Prophet Muhammad led a vast army towards Mecca to conquer the city. The pagans, upon witnessing the greatness of the Islamic army, realized that they could not resist the Muslims and surrendered without any resistance. However, this victory held a different significance for many Muslims who had been forced to leave their homes and migrate to Medina. Many had spent years sleeping by the walls of the Prophet's mosque. They had lost their homes, lands, and loved ones. Now was the time for revenge. The power of Islam had never been greater, and a group of Muslims chanted, "Today is the day of revenge." But it can be said that no one was tormented and harassed by the pagans like Prophet Muhammad. For 21 years, the pagans had subjected him to countless torments, verbal abuse, slander, and physical and spiritual harms. They had even incited children to tease him and throw stones at him as he passed by. Once, a camel's stomach was thrown at him while he was praying. Numerous attempts were made on his life, only thwarted by the intervention of his uncle, Abu Talib. During the years of his mission in Mecca, the Muslims faced a severe economic boycott imposed by the pagans. They were forbidden from trading with Muslims or marrying them, and were even driven from their homes. For 3 years, the Muslims endured hardship in a barren valley called Sheb Abi Talib. The suffering was so severe that they often went hungry for days. In these difficult circumstances, the Messenger of God lost his devoted wife, Lady Khadijah, and his dear uncle, Abu Talib, who played the role of a father for him and was his greatest supporter. Before the Muslims entered Mecca, Abu Sufyan, who was at the forefront of the enemies of the Messenger of God and had orchestrated the economic blockade against the Muslims, and under whose leadership all the battles between the pagans and Muslims had taken place, went to the Prophet to seek amnesty. Considering the instances mentioned and the harassment that Abu Sufyan had inflicted upon the Prophet, any other individual might have felt justified in seeking revenge for all the suffering and hardships endured. However, the behavior of the Prophet of Islam was quite different. When he heard the Muslims chanting, "Today is the day of revenge," he proclaimed, "Today is the day of forgiveness." He issued a general amnesty, declaring that anyone who remained in their homes would be safe, and those who sought refuge in the Kaaba would also be spared. The Prophet also forgave Abu Sufyan, the greatest enemy of the Muslims and responsible for the martyrdom of many Muslims, including Hamza, the Prophet's uncle, who was killed by Abu Sufyan's wife. But since Abu Sufyan was a prominent figure in Mecca, not only did they not belittle him, but they also preserved his dignity and status, and said that anyone who takes refuge in Abu Sufyan's house will be safe. Truly, which historical figures, upon reaching a position of power, have treated their enemies in such a way that not only did they refrain from taking revenge, but also preserved their dignity and character? Can we, upon reaching a position of power, even think about forgiveness? The answer to this question lies with you.